George, this impressive FEI Level 4 designer has played many roles in the international show jumping world over the past 3 decades, including being assistant course designer at the Atlanta Olympic Games in 1996, Athens in 2004, and London in 2012, and the head course designer in 2016 at the Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro. He was also the FEI technical delegate at the 2024 Games in Paris. We're looking forward to seeing what he has to come up with tonight on this beautifully designed course. The stage has been set, and we are set to welcome a great follow-up to an awesome class we had last night. Tonight we'll be having a showdown, and of course, we'll be looking forward to next week where we have the FEI Nations Cup. There'll be 3 great classes, the qualifier, the FEI Nations Cup, and of course, the Grand Prix on Saturday. This is a 2-round format. First round, of course, on the long course. We're looking to keep all the fences up. All the fences stay up. You're under the time allowed, which is set tonight at 80 seconds. You will pass on to the jump-off round. In the jump-off round of round 2, it will be all name of speed. We have to keep all the rails up. The fastest around the course will climb to the top of the podium tonight and be crowned the champion, the $46,000 Pommies Meter 45, a Grand Prix. Here tonight, we'll be looking to see a total of 12 horses in here tonight. Great names, of course. We'll have Connor Swale returning after a great victory last night. He absolutely thrilled us. One of the top riders in the world, and he is here tonight with 2 horses. He did it last night with My Lady La Vista, and he'll be the favorite here tonight. The other one to watch, of course, is Isabella Ehrlich. She was amazing last night on To Care KDWZ. Only 17 years old. She had the time all the way to the end. It just clipped the last rail, but she was so close to winning last night. Let's see if tonight is her night indeed. So hold tight. We'll be back with you in just a few minutes' time with the anthem. And we welcome our first horse in the ring at 6 o'clock. Today we're so grateful to have Pommies as our sponsor for the Grand Prix. Pommies has been a longtime supporter of Angelstone events. We all know and love Pommies for their amazing ciders, which are made locally with apples from Callan. And you can get patio service up there. We just introduced the patio. We see everyone enjoying this amazing heat wave that we've been having here in this beautiful July afternoon. And they've got some nice cold Pommies up there. So why don't you give one of those a try. They are our great sponsor here tonight in what will be a great Grand Prix here. Moving forward, we look through. We've got representation from the United States. We've got Ireland, and we've got Canada. Of course, we'll be welcoming a host of other nations next week who we cap up and get ready for the FEI Nations Cup. Of course, we've got reserved seating all next week, $300 for a table for the entire week. Up in the VIP to reserve your spot, the best seat in the action, as well as our tailgating section. At the back end of the property, we'll be opening the tailgate section up. You can pull your car down right to the front, have a little party right by the ringside, and enjoy. That's something new we're adding this week, and you can reserve for about, I think it's $90 online. Great value. That's for the whole week, and that gets you the best seats in the house and bring your car down, including great parking down there by the ring. That's pretty cool. So we're just getting set right now, and we'll be back with our first horse in 5 minutes' time. So welcome everybody joining us around the world. This has the start list here in front of us. We see the starting order. That's the first 12 here. We're going to see Gavin Moylan coming up first here in the order. We're taking a break after the 7th horse, and then we'll be continuing on through. This is a 2-round format. Round 1, of course, is the long course. We're going to pass everyone on to the jump off, who is clear, and then we have the speed kicking up a notch there in round 2 on the short course. And Mr. George is with us here, driving from Brazil. Great course set. We're set to go in just a minute. At this time, folks, we'd like to all ask you to please rise for the playing of the Canadian National Anthem. We welcome our first competitor here in the ring. It is FEI Showtime here at the Caledon Equestrian Park. Strutting in right now, and this is a Canadian, but he spends a lot of time down in the United States. We'll forgive him for that. We welcome him back here to the Caledon Equestrian Park. This is Gavin Moylan and Memphis. Memphis is an 8-year-old Dutch Warmblood gelding by Glenfiddich VDL. They finished 4th in last night's meter 45 opener, and Gavin is going to join us for the rest of the Canadian Equestrian Team Week next week at the Nations Cup. Up and through the final fence there, that was Gavin Moylan and Memphis. Give him a big round of applause. First through there, and 2 rails coming now. Total of 8 faults, just barely under the time allowed. It's going to be interesting to watch. You know, the time allowed is set at 80 seconds. Gavin was not motoring around the course, but he kept it very close, under the time allowed, but not a lot left on the clock there. So we'll have to see if that comes into the factor. We'll keep an eye on it as we go on through a few of these horses. All right, we're ready for our next rider here. She was absolutely amazing last night. This is Kamagadek and Connie 409. They're in the ring right now. This is an 11-year-old mare by Conthargos out of Cassandra, who is sired by Cassini 2. Connie 409 is currently sitting in second overall in the Grand Prix Angelstone Series standing and had a great outing last night there, climbing up into the top of the podium into a great position. Let's welcome her back from the United States, Kamagadek. Bit of a fall there for Kamagadek there. Give her a round of applause. She looks like she's okay. We're going to have everybody check her over. We'll have our medical staff and have a look. And it looks like Connie 409 has done a little strut back to the ring there. And take that horse back to the stable and regroup and fight another day. All right, we're just a little break in the action right now. We're all set and ready to go right here while we rebuild that fence right there. We got a great Kubota ring crew out there. And we have our next rider here just strolling into the ring to have a little look around. You know, it's great to have a little bit of extra ring time to explore and have your horse take a little look at the jumps and kind of set up a little bit. So our next rider is just in there and we'll be set to go in just a minute. It looks like they're making pretty good progress rebuilding there. We'll get a little bit of extra help there on that side and get that ring built up in just a minute. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a fine rider indeed right now. She was amazing last night with 3 of the top 8 finishes, and she is aboard Leicester tonight, and they're the next to go here in the Pommies Grand Prix. Leicester's owned and ridden here by Nicole Walker's a 9-year-old Dutch warm blood gelding by Harley VDL, and out of Hamika. This pair was 8th in the meter 45 opener last night. Correction, I just skipped ahead. We got to go back here, and we have Susan Horn in the ring. My apologies. Chaka Keeps 2 is here tonight. Susan rides in her own Chaka Keeps 2. This is a 15-year-old Hanoveri mare side by the top stallion, Chaka Blue. This winning combination has had multiple top 10 finishes in the last couple of years, and they finished 11th in the FEI opener class here at Adelstone last night. This is Susan Horn, Chaka Keeps 2. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your first clear round. Susan Horn getting it done with Chaka Keeps 2. So after a bit of a bumpy start, we are on to the clear rounds. That was a bit of a welcome relief after that little spill back there, and Susan Horn made it look oh so smooth with Chaka Keeps 2. Lovely ride there for her. Well, folks, I don't get them right all the time, and I missed that last call. That was Susan Horn in there, and now we have Nicole Walker, who I previously introduced. We'll do it again. Leicester's back here, Nicole Walker. She is local, and she's been out on the West Coast, and she's returning back here to Caledon, and she's always a hometown favorite. Let's cheer her on. This is Nicole Walker and Leicester. Big power through the last jump, and it's the Caledon colors right there from the Pan Am Games, and my brother just so conveniently reminded me that it's now 10 years to the day that we welcomed the world here for the Pan Am Games. That was a real turning point here for the park. Of course, so many of us were here to witness Canada win gold there in front of the hometown crowd. That was an amazing, amazing memory. It was 10 years ago already. It's amazing how time flies. All right, guys, we've got our next rider here, and what a rider he is. He's from Ireland, one of the top riders in the world. He competes on the Major League Show Jumping Tour, and he's back here. A winner last night. He's looking to go back-to-back with this one. Theo 160, and Irishman Connor Swale. Big power through the final fence, finishing nice and strong, just under the time allowed too. He took his time after getting those two rails to set the horse up and just to kind of slow him down a little bit. Uncharacteristic two rails there with Connor Swale, 8 faults. Unfortunately not his night on that horse, but he's got another crack at it on the horse he won with last night there. And 8 faults there, 79-29 for the Irishman Connor Swale. Well, folks, when I tell you this is one to watch, I am not exaggerating. She is a 17-year-old phenom, and she has been making all of us Canadians super proud, especially when we're welcoming the world in these 2 FEI weeks. This is Isabella Ehrlich, and she is next up competing with her own 10-year-old Zangerscheid Gelding to Care KDWZ. This junior rider and to Care was 6th in the FEI opener last night, narrowly missing the win, just a rail held them out, and they won a Grand Prix in Caledon Mesa. They're definitely riding on a hot streak. Let's cheer her on, only 17. Let's see if she can pass on through the jump off and put some heat on the other riders. I'll finish nice and strong there. Give a round of applause there. 80-41. We're just going to tack on one time fault plus the 3 rails there for Isabella Ehrlich. And, you know, it was gone up a little bit from the other night. And, you know, it's hard jumping as well. 2 classes in a row. You got to have a lot of gas in the tank to get through 2 nights in a row. But great outing there for sure by Isabella Ehrlich and to care KDWZ. 13 faults, 80-41 there on the cloud. Our first victim of the time faults, a little bit tight on the time allowed, just to keep it a little bit honest, get things moving a little bit. We had a lot pass through the jump off last night, and it's a little bit more challenging here tonight. So ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break and have a little intermission, a little stretch in halfway through the order. And we'll be welcoming everyone back for the conclusion of round 1, and then we'll see if we can pass a few more through onto the jump off. So take a stretch, take a washroom break, visit us over at the patio, grab a cold drink, or even a Pommies. They are a proud sponsor here tonight. And they also do a great job as well in the Hunter Rings. They're such proud sponsors of our Hunter Derby series, the Founders Cup that goes all season long, culminating at the end in a huge, huge cash prize at the end of the season. Pommies is an integral part of that series and helping for many, many years. So thank you so much for them. And right now, we'll just take a few-minute break for intermission. We'll be back in a few minutes' time. Folks, as we look to next week, it is going to be absolutely incredible. As I said, we have a number of reserved seating options. $300 for the table for the whole week. That gives you the 3 events up in the pavilion. That guarantees you the best seat of the action for the Nations Cup coming up next week. We also have a new introduction of tailgating in the tents in the back. You can bring your car up, pull it up, have a party there, and have a few drinks, enjoy very, very close seats in the action. That is something new. It's $90, and those are reservable through angelstone.ca, and of course you can download our app. It's available now at the App Store, and all of our reservations and management systems all run through there, and it has all the schedule of our events. It's really, really cool. Free to download off the App Store at Angelstone Events. All right, guys, we're just going to be seeing our end of the order right here. We look up top right here. We look down the list. We have 6 ready to go in the chute. We're going to be seeing amateur Catherine Drapeau coming in with freestyle, and she was great last night. She jumped a clear round and just clipped the rail there in the jump off, and she is going to be looking to see if she can add her name and go back-to-back clears. She's been riding absolutely incredible this summer. We'll also be seeing Gavin Moylan coming back for his second trip on Anton 869, as well as a second trip for Kama Godek and Teresa and Susan Horn on Valentor. We'll also be seeing our winner from last night, Connor Swale, coming back with My Lady La Vista. That's definitely the class fair, but you can't forget about local favorite Nicole Walker, an excellent B. That horse is so consistent. Every time it jumps, it just keeps putting up clear rounds again and again and again. She is going to be batting cleanup. She's got the last crack at making it through to the clear. In terms of clears right now, we don't have a lot here in the jump off so far. If we look up right now on the boards, we only have Susan Horn and Jacka Keeps 2 as our only lone entrant into the jump off. If no one intends to join her, then she will be crowned the victor tonight, but I'm sure we've got a few clear rounds left in store, so we'll have to watch that as we continue on. Just a couple minutes away from welcoming our great rider from Quebec, Catherine Drapeau, into the ring with her horse, Freestyle. All right, we are now back after our break, and we got a little bit of stretch. We've got some cold pommies in the system, and we're ready for our next horse. In the ring right now, this is Freestyle du Shamrock, bred in France and owned and ridden by Catherine Drapeau. He is a 10-year-old Celle Francaise gelding by the stallion president and out of Uria au Parc. This combination was 10th in the meter 45 opener last night. Let's cheer them on, see if we can pass another through. It's only Susan Horn sitting there all alone in the hitch ring waiting for a dance partner. Let's hope we have an exciting jump off. It could be Catherine Drapeau. Let's cheer her on. Well, Shamrock was definitely moving out there tonight. Give her a big round of applause. This is Catherine Drapeau coming in there, just 3 faults there. And the horse seemed to have a little bit of energy here tonight. The course has proven to be a little bit more difficult from last night. We passed a few more on to the jump off. And like I said, it has been proven difficult. Only one so far with a handful left to go. So the pressure is on right now for the rest of our riders. We have our next one here at the plate, and we'll be welcoming them into the ring here. This is Gavin Moylan, and he is aboard Anton 869. This is a horse owned by Priscilla Denegray. It's a 10-year-old Holsteiner gelding sired by Action Breaker out of Z Beluga. They were 7th in the class last night, and they're ready to take the stage here to see if they can challenge Susan Horn, currently sitting alone in the hitching ring. Through the final line there, that was Gavin Moylan and Anton 869. Another two-rail performance there, and it is getting a bit stressed right now looking down the list, but we have some really, really great firepower still left in the chute here with 4 left to go. And I'm sure we're going to have a jump off here. We have Kamagadek right now in the ring with her next one. This is the second ride of the afternoon for her. She's been a busy young lady, of course. And this is a 14-year-old Holsteiner mare, Charissa. And they were very close, second in last night's meter 45 FEI opener, off of the leader by 0.2 of a second. It was so close. Charissa was sired by Clarimo out of Yermel 6. Kamagadek and Charissa. Oh, she kept us in suspense all the way to the end. Everyone is on the edge of their seat. Like, are we going to have a jump off tonight? Are we not going to have a jump off? Wow, that answer was answered with resounding yes, we are. Kamagadek and Charissa heading on to the jump off. They're about to put the heat over on Susan Horn, and she is going to start getting warmed up with only a few left to go. It's going to be an awesome jump off right down to the finish. We'll hope to add 2 more at least. Some good ones here coming up next. Well, speaking of Susan Horn, she is already sitting pretty with 1 horse, but she has the luxury of having 2 horses in here tonight, and a very good one in this. This is a Ballantor, and it's a beautiful, mature 19-year-old gelding out of Vincenzo and Utah. And Al, this pair competed in Spruce Meadows last month, ending up 10th in the meter 50 Apex Cup. Let's see if she can have 2 cracks at the jump off. Let's cheer on this beautiful animal, Ballantor. Here we go, Susan Horn. Oh, lovely way to finish. She was so close to adding Ballantor into the jump-off round and just under the time allowed. Like I said, it has been tight, and they have been having to keep the pressure on. When the time allowed is tight like that, they can't really take their time, so they got to keep the pace going through, and with the pace comes a few more rails along the way. Only the 4 coming there for that great duo, and it was a good ride and just narrowly missing out on the jump off. All right, folks, we turn our attention over now to the Irishman, Mr. Connor Swell. He was the winner last night with this very animal. He rides to win every time he comes to Canada, particularly when he's showing out here at Angelstone. Let's put your hands together for one of the world's top riders, Irishman, Connor Swell, and my lady, La Vista. Powering through the final jump there. The 4 comes down. Oh, man. I'm sure Connor's going to be a little bit disappointed, but his name is not being added to the jump off. And, you know, he won the class last night. That was no easy feat, but he will be left out. And I'm sure the others who are back there are breathing a bit of a sigh of relief that they don't have Connor Swale chasing them down throughout that jump off there. So they are safe for now, but we have one more left to go. So let's see if we can have a trio. So we have a battle for the podium, all 3 facing off here. This is our next rider, Nicole Walker, hailing from Caledon, just off in the hills, just a few kilometers away from here. She is here aboard on an amazingly consistent horse in Excellent B. Our final competitor on course in round 1 before we test off in the jump off round. Nicole Walker on course. Oh, right to the end, and just a shade under the time allowed. Nikki Walker heading on to the jump-off round with excellent B. I told you that horse is a master of consistency. You know, it's so nice having a stable like Nikki does. You know, 3 horses in last night, 3 of the top 8. You know, it's not just the horses. Nikki is riding exceptionally well, and we look forward to her representing as our little token of our Caledon experience here, adding her on to the list of riders next week for the International Week for the FEI Nations Cup. It would be lovely to see Nicole Walker there on the team there. An excellent B, is so consistent and passing on to the jump off. So it's really cool here tonight. We're going to have 3 in it tonight for the jump off. So we are literally battling for the podium. We know that all 3 of them are going to be on the podium. It's just a matter of who goes where. We've got a Kubota ring crew in right now to tidy up the ring and make it a bit of a short course. So the time allowed last round 1 was 80 seconds. This is going to be a shortened course right now, so we're going to be looking to amp up the speed a little bit, cut the corners, look for ways to shave off the time. The fastest clear is going to climb to the top of the podium and be crowned tonight in the Pommies Grand Prix. We're just going to take a bit of a break in the action right now while they rebuild the course here, and we'll bring everybody back in. If you want to take a little stretch, a washroom break, or take a little trip over to the patio and get cold Pommies, they're available. And also reserve your tickets for next week, where it's absolutely going to be completely rammed here for the FEI Nations Cup and Grand Prix on Saturday. That is going to be awesome. Reserve tickets are available in tables online at angelstone.ca. And we'll be also welcoming Wines of the World here. It's the local Rotary Club who produce that event every year, so they bring about 2,000 of their closest friends there. They'll be all in the tents there in the back of the property. And they'll have some great wines from all over the world that they'll be sampling while we are doing the action and battle here at the Caledon Stadium here. We bring in our big Kubota tractors here. We'll be back to you in just a few minutes' time. We've been having a wonderful summer tour here at the park. If you've been walking around, you notice that there's been changes every single week. This week was the World Hunter Week, and I could tell you, I just took a little stroll down to the Kubota ring, and it is looking in fine form for the hunters this week. It's been great action down there. Tomorrow we're going to have an incredible series of 3 events streaming live around the world for the Hunter Week over in the Kubota ring. So that's going to be one to watch on the stream there tomorrow. And of course, we look forward to next week, where we'll have multiple streaming options next week covering the Nations Cup, of course, and the Grand Prix on Saturday. And of course, we'll be liking to see everybody in the stands as well here at the Caledon Equestrian Park. So whether you're joining us at home or here in the stands, we'd love to have you next week. We welcome the world here for the second week of FEI jumping at the Caledon Equestrian Park. Folks, we look at the order right there. We have 3 coming up, and they are close to getting ready to go right here. This is the jump-off qualifiers for tonight. We're going to see Susan Horn, the great amateur rider. She's riding Jack It Keeps 2. She almost had 2 in it with Ballantor, just narrowly missing having 2 shots at the jump-off here. But she's aboard a great one. Jack It Keeps 2. Next up, we'll be seeing Kamagudek and Charissa. They have been very consistent. They were second on the podium there tonight. She's going to have a crack at climbing the top of the podium. And Nicole Walker's hot on her heels with Excellent B. 3 great riders, 3 shots at it. We will decide who climbs to the top of the podium here tonight in the Pommies Grand Prix. So show times for next week, if you're joining, 6 o'clock, the Nations Cup is going to be on Thursday. That's going to be a great one for sure. Great team format as well, and it is going to be awesome. Then we're going to have Friday, the FEI qualifier, also at 6 o'clock, and then on Saturday, 6 as well. So 6 o'clock, all 3 nights, Thursday, Friday, Saturday here next week. All right, folks, it is time for some action right now. We are set to go in the exciting jump off. This is round 2. We're going to be pushing pedal to the metal right now. A lot of horsepower coming in right now with Susan Horn and Chaka Keeps 2. There are 3 competitors here in the jump off. We'll see who comes out on top and who gets on top of the podium here in the Pommies Grand Prix. This is Susan Horn and Chaka Keeps 2. Wow, that's how we like to get things started here. 41.1 is going to be your class leader through the first there. She's the first crack at it. You know, it's always advantage going at the end. It's always harder going first, of course, but Susan Horn was absolutely incredible there with Chaka Keeps 2. That's going to be a tough one to beat. We'll see if we can break the 40 barrier here. We'll keep an eye on the clock here. This one's got some speed, and she loves to win. I know that. Kamagadek here aboard Charissa. Let's cheer them on. Reference time, 41.1 there on the clock. Yeah, give it a round of applause. You know, when you're going to win and there's only 3 in it, you're going to have your pedal down full speed and just a little slip there, but it wasn't that bad at all. Kamagadek's going to strut out and she'll be back, and she at least guarantees her spot on the podium. So we look up here. Ah, look, the big smile on her face, too. She's like, I had it. Sometimes it's your night, sometimes you have a little problems, and we're moving on to our next rider here, and this is our final competitor on course for the jump-off round. This is Nicole Walker, an excellent B. She's going to be chasing down Susan Horn's time of 41.1 here. Let's see if she has in store here. Let's see if she can push hard. I think 40 is doable, and we'll see how aggressive Nicole Walker will be with excellent B. So close, 41.6, half a second off the pace there. I thought Nikki had it. She was pushing real hard. It was almost her night, but so close. She's going to be very happy. Give Excellent B a big pet and back to the stables there. But before that, we're going to bring everybody out onto the field for our presentation ceremonies and welcome our great sponsors, Pommies, into the ring right now, and our Kubota ring crew to set up the presentations here. That was a nice little showdown there, a little battle between the three ladies as we look forward to next week. And Nicole Walker is beaming ear to ear, big support staff there with her. And Excellent B was excellent here tonight, but not excellent enough to climb up. That is going to be Susan Horn tonight. It's going to be her night, and we will be honoring our winners. We're bringing in our top 6 here in about 5 minutes' time. Hold with us. We'll be back in a moment. So all you joining us there online, there is your leaderboard there, your top 10 finalists there in the Pommies Grand Prix. $46,000 divided across those great competitors here tonight. Not a lot of clear rounds, especially compared to last night. I think the time was a little bit of a factor there. Our great course designer from Brazil put the heat on them a little bit more tonight. Even Connor Swale missed the jump off there tonight. He had 2 shots at it, and I can tell you he'll be looking to back up the truck a little bit more next week. Of course, a great win last night, but it couldn't go 2 for 2. That honor goes to Canada here tonight. Susan Horn and Chaka Keeps 2 gets it done. We'll be back to your welcome in just a minute. For all the yous online, we'll join you tomorrow morning for the World Hunter Week. We'll be moving over to the Kubota. Check our schedules online at YouTube and on Facebook. We'll be broadcasting there live tomorrow morning, and schedule will be posted online. And we'll sign off for our live stream guests, and we'll continue on with the action in the ring with our presentations.